Welcome back to another reaction for Lord of Mystery Special 1, the Silver City. This is going to be very interesting. Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Yep, they're doing it. Take your time. It's like a video game. 15 million splash screens before we get into the show. Which is fair enough.
非凡世界，人类通过腐蚀魔药，掌握不同的非凡能力，完成生命层次的晋升。这22条进阶之路，从序列9开始，序列数字越低，非凡能力越强。高序列强者可以拥有比肩神明的力量。此进化路径称为神之途径。
Okay. Good refresher. Now, I don't know when time-wise this is playing. No idea. The title is the Silver City, so I'm assuming this is surrounding Sun. I believe he was in Silver City. Maybe we will see. I totally forgot. I do want to read the book so bad, but then I have the same problem with like Mushoku Tensei and Bookworm, where I have read the story, so the anime I can't really go in blind, so to say. So even though people really are like, hey, the anime, sure, it's good and stuff, but the books, they're doing everything better, which is par for the course, I feel like, for adaptation. But we have waited a long time. My friend, you don't understand. My friend is like, every month he's like, I need more. I can't read the books. I don't have time, but anime, I need more. Or Donhua. Chinese animation, not anime.
我叫周明瑞，一名大吃货国的社畜。因为举行某个转运仪式，穿越到廷根，成为了克莱恩·莫雷蒂。
Yeah.
目前和妹妹、哥哥生活在一起。
Do you though? So this more or less puts the time frame. So this is before he quote unquote died. And I believe, didn't he become pathway sequence 7? Was it 7 or 8? Don't remember.
我也曾经尝试过重启转运仪式，却没能返回地球，而是来到了一片神秘的灰雾空间。我以愚者的身份认识了2位伙伴，开启塔洛会。为了寻找回家的线索，我请他们收集我的老乡罗塞尔大帝的日记。直到这天，我又听到了新的气息。
Right, the sun. Crazy. So it doesn't really matter when this is necessarily, I mean, when exactly this is taking place, because this is like a side thing. I was wondering whenever he came up and he joined the group, because it was at the end of an episode, like an ending credits, and it's like, we have a new person, and it never got mentioned again. It was a little bit weird. So I am really happy that we get to see more, because it looked very interesting, and it is on the continent that is more or less forgotten, or they don't go there anymore because it's too dangerous.
出发吧，伟大的大航海家。 罗塞尔·哥伦布、麦哲伦·郑和、古斯塔夫。
This is essentially where our water boy wants to go to, right? Was that the point? That he wants to get to the new continent? Or the old one that we don't go to anymore? Excuse me? Could you stop farming? Holy shit. He's standing on top there, not bothered. So I'm assuming he's the one that discovered the continent? Like the quote-unquote Christopher Columbus?
种种迹象表明，这个世界绝不只有南北大陆。4月18日，我在黑王做好那些古代典籍里，发现迷雾海的尽头。
Aboard the Black King. What a name for a ship. The Western continent could exist at the edge of the fog area.
发现迷雾海的尽头，可能存在西大陆。那东面苏尼亚海的尽头呢？会不会就是传说中的？
Oh. So he's an explorer, I guess, and they know about 2 continents, but he's questioning what about the edge of the seas? What is over there? Is there something? Is there nothing? And he is assuming that there could be this mythical continent at the edge of one of those seas, which does. The question is really, why do we not know what is all going on there? I reckon that maybe it's because either the sea is too turbulent and the ships can't continue, or it does continue but they can't return for some reason. Maybe they can't go against the water current, or the ships just can't travel that far, either because of the food or because the ships don't hold out that long. I don't know, but there is a real problem with the distance you can travel, because your ship does take a little bit of damage every now and then, especially with rough seas. So maybe that is it. I'm assuming it's mostly, if there's a problem with the distance, it's probably food related.
神奇之地。
Second line of the god.
神器之地究竟是什么地方？
Okay, so this is where we stand. When did we get that? Wait. Wait. Is this from the Emperor? He's reading the letter. I was like, okay. So this is a part of the diary. I mean, it makes sense. Now that I look at it, it is written in Chinese. I am assuming. I cannot read Chinese, but I'm pretty sure that is not any of the languages we have seen in a lot of mysteries. So it's most likely written in Chinese, which the only one we know writing in Chinese was the Emperor. That was there a couple 100 years ago, whatever. So he was the one exploring. He was contemplating, hey, there could be a hidden continent. Okay. I was wondering where we got this from. So this is one of the diary entries.
神器之地究竟是什么地方？
Don't remember if we had that in the show.
听着好像是巨人语，新的气球。
It is interesting. This whole thing is very ominous. And him, I mean, this looks like it's not as busy, but I could see this being what it would look like as a deity. You are sitting there, you are existing, and then you hear a prayer, and you can decide to interact with that prayer or not. And he decides to interact with that prayer. I totally forgot we also have a dog with powers. Damn. A land without a sun. So we have Great Britain, okay. Now, if I remember correctly, where he's living or being in the city, there's no one else, right? Everyone is gone. We did not really get to know why. If there was some monster or the monsters attacked or some massacre happened.
被遗弃的地方，难道是神奇之地？
Was he saying it's please turn the sunlight once more on this land you have forsaken. Forsaken land of the gods. Okay. Okay, so this is not the wording. Forsaken land of the gods made me think it is the land of the gods, but it's the land that the gods have forsaken. Okay, now it makes more sense. Okay. Fair enough. So this, because there's no sun, there's no help or whatever. I do wonder, do they have the sequences? If I remember correctly, we need some ingredients from these forgotten lands, forsaken lands. Right. I now remember. Monsters were hunted quite massively in the continents we are on, and we need some ingredients from some rather rare monsters, nowadays rare, and I'm assuming the Forsaken Land, which seems to be mostly controlled by these monsters, is where we get these ingredients. I never looked at this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10, 20, 21, 22. So we have 22 shares. And we have 22 pathways. Praise the sun. No praise. No praise. Oh yeah, this was such a good scene. Oh, this scene was so good. He was looking around and then he was seeing essentially deities. I mean, this looks so awesome. You not only see him, you also see the other two. This is how you make it feel really intimidating.
您是神灵吗？我不是神灵，我只是一个对漫长历史感兴趣的愚者。愚者？不管您是神灵还是愚者，我的祈求都不改变。我会奉献我的灵魂和鲜血取悦您，请让我们白鹰之城摆脱诅咒。我对凡人的鲜血和灵魂没有兴趣，不过。 我会给你强大的机会。
This is essentially the wet dream of Shunibu, right? Being like, oh, you can behave like a deity or like a supernatural being and whatnot.
但是，你需要付出相应的代价。但是，你需要付出相应的代价。
Is the pupil increased? No, the light is gone. I mean, some of the details they use are incredible. I mean, the eyes, the whole time. I feel like while they were animating this, there was like, instead of having people go through scenes, you have like people for different parts. It's like, okay, you make the main scene and then you give it to the eye guy, and he's like, okay, the eyes, and he takes like 15 million days to make each eye and give them movement and whatnot.
代价，我愿为此付出一切。选一张吧，作为你的代号。
Oh, that is why he's also deciding on the sun, huh?
愚者，他会是解救白银城的希望吗？
Because there's no sun here. City of Silver. Yep, okay. Somewhere I have the alphabet. Don't ask me. I hope we don't need it. So is the story happening after the meeting or before? Because I assume we get to find out what happened, what is going on. He's talking about a curse. What does he mean? How is living here really like? Why is he alone? Okay, he's not alone. He's a little baby.
Ikhlan perni hagen hiwa solian perni wan gaga helan dewla danke astafan michten festala ifne khumidi
Okay.
ale ajid modila jeniadi nam badlu ke kaula kalesh disas flam olia khaybati.
Hello. Hello there.
妈妈，他
Can I call you Mama?
怎么了？
他刚经历了一件痛苦的事情，这是白银城的诅咒，是每个人的宿命，没有谁能够幸免。
This is the curse of the Silver City, everyone's destiny. She just experienced something painful. So this is, okay, a woman with a sword. Sword has a bunch of blood. She, I don't know. I'm unsure. So there was some guy that is dead, seemingly dead. He's going to be buried. Now the question is, did she kill the guy? Or was it some kind of duel or whatever? Or the curse she was talking about? We don't really know what that is. Maybe that is relevant. Maybe it's like, hey, you need to fight other people and so the survivor is going to stay in the city, and this could be it. Could be that there's not enough food and we have to cull the populace. So if you get a child, your child is going to kill the parents? Maybe? I don't know. I assumed at the beginning that maybe she fought some monsters and that is why the weapon has all this blood. But I guess not. Also, again, they're like, hey, the sun is gone. Makes sense that he's now trying to be the sun. He wants to be the sun for the city and potentially this whole continent. Maybe he's also able to summon the sun. We don't really know. We will see. But makes more sense. Now, something happened, however, between now, where he's a child, and whenever he grew up. It seemed like the city was gone or the city was overrun. They did say that out of the darkness monsters appeared, destroyed all the cities, and they have to more or less survive somehow. And somehow the Silver City is the only one standing.
是每个人的宿命，没有谁能够幸免。
Which would also mean that if the children have to kill the parents, that he needs to kill his mom.
诅咒、宿命，那是什么？我们以后也会这样吗？
痛苦是为了延续，延续是为了等待希望。总有一天，伟大的神明会再次将目光投向这片大地，我们终会摆脱诅咒，重见太阳。
Imagine you're a child and they're talking about the sun and you have no idea what they mean. It's like, what is the sun? Well, what do you mean? Sun shining down? What does it mean?
回家吧，小戴里克。妈妈给你做黑面草面包，好不好？
Black-faced grass. Black-faced grass? Okay.
自从创造一切、全知全能的神遗弃这片土地，太阳消失，藏在黑暗深处的怪物出现，人类的深暗时代来临，残余的强者汇聚，
好了，
在这里建立起必有着人类文明最后火光的城邦——白银城。
Which is really interesting. That is really interesting. Now, if you look at it a little bit from a broader perspective, they have no idea about the other continents. They assume they are the last of humanity. They're the last stronghold. And they have to hold out. At some point, the deity will come back. The sun is going to shine, monsters are going to be pushed back, and humanity has a chance to rebuild. Meanwhile, we have other continents that have no problems. They are thriving. Everyone, hard, but a lot of people have a good, pretty good life. Definitely better than whatever this is. Which is a really interesting viewpoint. Again, that you have this city that is on this continent and they have no idea that they are not the last one. There are a lot of other people that are alive, but they feel like they are the last one. They don't know.
2000多年来，6人议事团派出无数精英小队探索黑暗，寻找残存的人类文明，寻找解除白银城诅咒的方法，但一无所获。见到的城邦只有黑暗之舞。大多城邦都毁于严重的食物短缺。白银城之所以能坚持下来，是因为黑面草。
I don't know if black-faced grass is such a good source of food. Also, only one-dimensional food source, not going to be good in the long run.
这是伟大神明留下的最后眷顾。
Okay. We're now in
书上
present
说，太阳可以驱散黑暗，带来光明和温暖。在我心中，父亲、母亲就是我的太阳。
Oh.
我每天都想创造一切。
So they got sent out to explore. Again, they don't know. Because they don't really have the ability or the resources to build a ship to sail out. So, and they don't know what the sun is. They have no clue. Even if they assume there's another continent, they assume it's the same as here. I believe I'm a pretty empathic person. I don't really have a problem somewhat trying to have the same emotions as the character. But this one is so far out of reach for me. This is their daily life. They don't know what the sun is. They don't have the despair to have like the difference of this is how it should be with the sun and this is how it is not. They don't know the good times. They don't know how bad it is. And they are just holding out because they believe they are the last. Again, this is too far for me to try to get in. I also feel like I wouldn't make it long in this city because this is really depressing, especially because they send out expedition after expedition to find other people, and they have found nothing. Absolutely nothing.
全知全能的神明虔诚祈祷，希望诅咒永远不要降临。希望每一次的探索都可以让我们距离太阳更近。希望父亲母亲每次都能平安归来。
Now that I think about it, we did not really see many monsters. We saw one instance of a monster, the sea monster, but apart from that, it was the people that transformed into stuff, and the only other sequence holders. We didn't really see much in terms of monster. Looks like a trap. What is that?
这颗水晶球应该是用来。
Okay. Crystal ball must have been used in a ritual as an offering to our god. So yeah, this does look a little bit like a ritual. Very hard to make out. It looks like they have something like a TV, to be honest, on the right. On the left, something like an alchemy table. Now, wouldn't it make sense to go back and deliver this information? Or is the command to just go as far as you can?
球应该是用来祭祀神明的祭品。
可惜神。
Are they sacrificing babies? I feel like they do.
可惜神明没有赐下眷顾，没有黑面草，这座城邦最终覆灭于严重的饥荒。
Which, why famine? So the land became barren because no sun. Oh, the sun is really important. I forgot. Yeah, okay. Because I assumed, okay, if you have like a big city and wall, you could grow stuff inside the wall. But without the sun, you need to change your produce. You probably need more mushrooms, but mushrooms don't grow that fast.
乔达，离洛维亚长老远一点。几个月前，洛维亚长老和她丈夫参加了某次探索，但只有她独自生还。我听说她吃掉了自己的丈夫。此前就有传言，洛维亚长老会吃掉队友。毕竟牧羊人能吞噬肉身，还有灵魂。
Shepherds. I'm assuming someone who has a sequence can consume both flesh and spirit. Shepherd. I mean, she definitely looks important because she strikes her visual strikes. Her visuals are pretty striking, I mean. She does feel like a vampire hunter. So we see a monster, and I'm assuming she's going to kill the monster. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened here? It looked like something was bubbling and then a tentacle attached her and all the tentacles poisoned, exploded. For someone who seems really strong and able to defeat the monster really quickly, she's just looking, I guess. She's just watching. Yeah, okay. I assumed it was like a couple monsters, not like a horde. In the eyes, ooh. Again, it feels like someone is responsible for the eyes alone. First off, excuse me. We are just summoning stuff now. Then, is this maybe an undead? Now, okay, so she's a shepherd. So she has one of the pathways. Now, which one is the question? It feels a little bit like an undead. Or can someone else just summon stuff? I feel like this is the strongest we have seen at this point. She just summoned a giant knight who summoned a giant sword. He stabbed the ground and just killed all the monsters without harming all the allies, which feels insanely strong. Now the question is, there are rumors about her. Now, rumors are not always the truth, but most of the time they hold a kernel of truth. So, also it seems like she is not a low sequence. With this power, it's hard for me to gauge, but I would reckon like sequence 5, maybe? I feel like sequence 5 would fit. I do not remember what our Lich or skeleton guy was. I believe like sequence 3 or 4. If I remember correctly, sequence, was it? Oh, it's so long ago. Either it was sequence 6 and below or sequence 3 and below, which got you closer to divinity. Where your powers are getting so strong that they are not on a person-to-person scale, they are on a more or less city scale, similar to this one. Just want to see it again. Very good use of impact frames. Important for stuff like impact frames, you can't overuse them. Otherwise they lose their impact. So this, very nicely done. Summoned, impact frame, use the attack, and then the rest we just let play out. I would Google what a shepherd is, but I feel like it would spoil, so... Okay. Bon appetit.
放心，我会救你的。
Okay, so it's not undead. She has some monster. So this was a bubbly thing that, because I was unsure if she got touched before and that is what bubbled, or the bubbly thing was before and then the tentacles got more or less poisoned by it. Now this means a lot of potential things. One, it could be that she is a monster herself. It could be that she's in a symbiosis with a monster. Like that. It could be her just a pathway that controls this, monster-wise. The problem is eating people, their bodies and soul feels like the undead pathway. So I don't know. I'm also pretty sure we heard about Shepard at some point. Now, I did try to pay attention. It did not seem like she was smiling. So assumption was at the beginning that she may have waited for someone to get injured so she can then eat them. But it did not seem like that was her plan initially. The only thing that I'm like, why do we have our sun boy instead of her? I mean, generally because the sun boy was praying, so that does explain why he's there. Are we bringing the crystal ball back? Is that Garrett? Whoa, 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 hey, 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 hey. So we have a bunch of chains that are around a sword? Looks like a sword at a tower.
500次闪
I mean, come on. Come on. I was like, you know, gray hair. I wanted to make a joke. This could be like Witcher. Come on. He has 2 swords. Really? Let me guess. One is iron, one is silver. Come on.
殿后，开启丰收献玉仪式。是，小心。
He looks like a Witcher.
小心，探索小队回来了，出事了。
Oh, he also has a scar, really? Yeah. No, no, it's legally distinct. I mean, quite honestly, I don't care. I do like if you pay serious homage to something. This would be what I would consider like the perfect place for a Witcher to be, or someone who would be like a Witcher, not necessarily, you know, someone who hunts monsters, who is proficient at it. This would be the perfect place where I would want a Witcher to be. So the question now is, do we bring the crystal ball back? Did we bring a monster back? What is happening here? What is happening? Is this a one-way bridge that you need to reenact? And again, oh no, not chains. Maybe a ritualistic place.
首席，本次西行探索，发现2座城邦，皆废弃，没有一处存留人类活主。一人
Neither showing signs of man-made flame. Oh, I see. They just saw the city and they didn't really go into the city because they didn't see any light. Makes sense instead of just scouring a city, which takes probably days. Okay.
牺牲，2人重伤，感染很隐蔽，临近白银城了，才骤然病发。
Again.
才骤然病发。
Why do you have crosshairs? And I don't know if you have these eyes. So the parents, I'm assuming it's the parents, got also poisoned. Now it is suspicious that this happened because of all the rumors around her. But it does not feel like she's bad. In character-wise, not a baddie. Baddie, you know.
我只能尽力压制，带他们回城。
Was he able to remove the infection? So he also. So all the elders, we know 3 elders, chiefs. All of them have a pathway. He was able to just suck out the infection.
家里还有人吗？
The question is, are they dead now? Looked like he was sucking out the infection, was he? Oh, wait. Maybe? I don't know. Hard to tell. Either he was sucking out the infection. He was... I don't know. I don't assume he sucked out all the blood. He could have also sucked out the heart. But whatever it is, it seems like it kills the people.
家里还有人吗？
有一个儿子，一名还未成为战士的学生，戴里克伯格。
我来吧。
今天的黑面草丰收现以后，你们就将服下魔药，成为神血战士，守卫白银城。
You will all drink the potion and become divine blood warrior. So everyone joins the pathway. Right? That is what they mean. I feel like that is the only thing they can mean. Does it mean that everyone has a pathway? It didn't seem like the other people that were with his parents were able to fight, really? With like a power?
守卫白银城，甚至加入探索小队，前往更深处，寻找白银城的出路。身处黑暗，寻求光明，在这片诅咒之地维系人类文明的火种，这是一代又一代白银城人的使命。
父亲母亲答应过我，等我成为战士这天，他们会送我一份珍贵的成年礼。
Why are we doing this? Come on.
按天上的闪电推算，父亲母亲就快要回来了。
谁是代理克伯格？
Oh no, don't do this. Why are you not translating this? Wait. Right. Never mind. We can't translate this. Because this is the language that they use. But they're Chinese right next to it. Translate the fucking Chinese, please. Why are you doing this? Pretty sure I can't translate this, even if I wanted to.
我们每个人都会经历这一天。
Wait a second. I did not even clock. Okay, these are all fine. So assumption is they are going to get the potion for the sequence. The sequence, they all probably go the same sequence because this is the only one they have. The recipe for and the ingredients. Now, similar to the one that transforms everyone into hot women with like sequence 7 or so, I believe it was, and below. This one seems to make everyone gray hair. We know our baddie, gray hair. He is gray hair, and the other dude, which probably is the third chief, is also gray haired. So this sequence, this pathway, if you go far enough into the sequence, you become gray-haired. Again, I believe the woman one was like, was it sequence 6? I believe 6. 7, one of the two. Oh, goddamn, 6, 7, fuck me. But these probably have a similar idea with the gray hair. On the same level, I would assume. So these probably like level sequence 6 or 7. Fuck me.
我们每个人都会经历这一天。这片黑暗之地会吞噬所有推缩怯懦者。拿起你的剑，在这里承担起你的责任。你将
Oh, fuck. Take up your sword and carry out your responsibility. So you need to kill your parents. In this, because they are infected.
这里承担起你的责任。你将会成为真正的战士。
Wait. Did he only... Wait, did he kill the mob with his power and left the dead alive?
父亲，母亲！
动手吧，戴里克。
That is a very small, I mean medium-sized, large even sword. Looks like it barely goes up to the knee. Massive.
想让全城的人都为你父母殉葬吗？你应该很清楚，我们是被神遗弃的黑暗之民，只能生活在这充满诅咒的地方。所有人死后都会变成恐怖的恶灵。历史上，白银城几次因为恶灵差点灭城，唯一的办法是由血亲亲手终结生命。
为什么？为什么我们白银之城的子民一出生就注定要弑父杀母？
这就是我们背负的诅咒，这就是神的意志。
That is very questionable. Is it because whenever the children are old enough, you send the parents out, and survival rate is so low that this is just what happens? Or again, was this premeditated? Did she poison them? Also, he pulled out something. I don't know if he killed one of them, or if he would be able to remove the poison. It could also be, again, that they need to cull the amount of people they have. And this is the way to do it.
意志让人杀自己的父母。
And this is also questionable. Is it because if the own children don't kill the parents, then the ghost can run free? Or is it just that at some point, one of the executions didn't get carried out correctly, and they then nearly destroyed the city? So since then, the thought is that you need the family member to kill to make sure that there are no problems. But in actuality, it was just a botched execution at the time.
我们现在献予的生命，真的还是白银之苦一直以来崇敬的神明吗？
住嘴！罗维亚长老， 戴利克，
Man, you make it really hard to be interested in you. You know, I don't fuck with the whole tentacle blood girling thing there.
你父母还有50次闪电的生命，以剜心蚀骨的巨大痛苦为代价。你的父母是英勇的战士，正是有像他们一样无数的牺牲，我们才能在这片黑暗之地坚守，维系住这座城市和白银之国的文明。
Now, it does seem like if they got poisoned by the monsters or by her, we don't know. Hard to really see. What we know is they are gone. They are most likely not going to make it. They are under pain. Essentially, this would be to free them. It is... it takes quite a bit. But I feel like this is the right decision. To go and
拔起你的剑，戴里克伯格，让你的父母亲眼见证你成为了战士，继承了他们的遗志，这是对你父母的尊敬。
父亲，父亲，母亲。
Oh, okay, the mom is still alive.
神不该是庇佑子民的吗？母亲不该是保护亲人的吗？ 为什么仙语和祈祷没有让我们远离黑暗？第一次拿起武器，却是要杀死自己最亲的人。这真的是神的意志？我们真的要追随这样的神吗？
So this is what we saw at the beginning. I would also have to go back. Could also be the chief, the female chief that was at the beginning, but probably not. Now, it seemed like they would have been able to say something. So we can assume that they got poisoned by the enemy and not by the lady. But it's hard to know. Again, we don't really know too much. Also, I do not really remember. So he joins our group as the son. What does he get from that? The part, I mean, sure, he can now exchange information, which is useful. But what does he get? Does he get stronger? Does it enable him to go a different pathway, or I do not remember. We have not really seen much of the other people. We don't really know what the big benefit is, do we? Or I am just forgetting.
现在，你已经是一名真正的战士了。
Why are we? Why are you walking down here with a sword? I feel like he's going to kill a lot of people. Huge ball. We have 4 people here. No, this is no people. That is just okay. The picture.
这颗水晶球是一座城邦用来祭祀神灵的。
We brought we brought it back.
你父母说，这是要送你的战士成名。
interested in the husband. I'm a person of burden. Ilan the husband. Ilan debo. Salia anetu. Aba onalagra. Kana dastana.
The word of the upside down. Okay, so the city's not empty. I just assumed, and I assumed wrong. So interesting. So now we have all the background information for our character. There's still a lot of stuff that we don't know about the Silver City. Additionally, I do really wonder what the benefit of him is to be here. It's hard to. I'm pretty sure. I mean, there has to be. There is most likely a benefit, but I'm not sure what.
愚者，他会是解救白银城的希望吗？会让我们远离黑暗诅咒吗？他会救回父亲和母亲吗？
No.
选一张吧。
作为你的代号，
我选太阳。
Now, I wonder what do we have the scene after? Wait, is this the song? It is. Damn, no. No. Oh. Okay. So, we have found, or we now have an idea what the Silver City is about. It's on the Forsaken continent. The people here believe they are the only people, the only humanity left. There's no sun. The sun disappeared at some point. And while the sun disappeared, a lot of monsters came out of the dark. Our cities fell one after the other because they were unable to grow any crops, because the sun is gone. Apart from the Silver City, which had the black-faced grass, which looks like wheat, black-faced wheat, essentially, which allowed them to make some food. Now, in the city, we have some pathway that they have access to. If you go high enough sequence, you become gray-haired. We have a witcher-looking fella as well. 3 chiefs. People are being sent out regularly to try and uncover some resemblance of civilization left. And they frequently die because of that. And this is where our boy is coming from. It's the last city on the continent, supposedly. No sun. And they are just surviving. Now, in contrast, we have 2 continents who are doing really well. Which I feel like, again, we don't really see them interact with this guy, because it would be like, yeah, oh, you are from the Forsaken continent. Yeah, we are from the other continent, where people are living their life and their sun and no one is starving. I mean, no one. A lot of people are well fed. And it's normally a pretty good time. And you are there with no sun, trying to survive, killing your own parents, and yeah. I feel like this would be a massive shock. That there is other humanity left. We also have the 3 chiefs. They all work with, like, blood and monsters. The lady is a shepherd, and she has, like, a monster symbiote, maybe? We have Garrett, who can suck out the blood or infection. Which, again, I don't really know what it was. But it feels like he would be able to maybe get rid of the infection if he wanted to. Or maybe he can only make it not devour them as quickly. I don't know. The 3rd chief, we have not seen what he does. We only know he's also gray-haired. Okay. I mean, there's a lot about the city. Okay, we have this whole city. We have the Harvest Festival. We don't really know what it looks like exactly. Is it just a good old festival? Did they poison the parents to potentially cut down on people? Because that is one thing I feel like could happen, because you only have a limited amount of food. So if the people have children, it makes sense to get rid of them, maybe. That is most likely why they got sent out. But the question is, did she deliberately poison them to then have them die and essentially cut down on food, get someone to become a warrior as well, join the pathway. Again, which add like sequence, whatever makes them gray-haired. It's hard to read. It's very hard to read. It feels like they are not really able to try doing something like that because they are so close to being wiped out that they probably can't just sacrifice people willy-nilly. We also saw the lady devour someone. This is going to be interesting if we ever find out more about this. We do have 2 more specials that are coming out at some point. I believe the next one is end of June. I don't know if they come the next couple of weeks. But this one, really good special. Really good. I mean, we had the whole beginning where we were rehashing what happened, which, yes, important because the show is like a year old at this point. But it feels like a lot of wasted time because most of the story was around the Silver City and the sun. And it is a very depressing world they live in. They believe they are the last humans. They have never seen the sun. And they are trying to survive day by day. Very depressing. And it put everything in perspective, why he was so desperate to be heard, how the worlds are so different between this Forsaken continent and the one Lion lives on. I am wondering what the connection is going to be like. Right? Right. If I remember correctly, Klein can read them the future. But I wonder how he's going to help this guy. Is he going to tell him about the rest of the world? Which I feel like would change his viewpoint. Could make him a lot more positive because he knows there is a world where the sun is shining. So the sun is not gone. It is just stopped by all the clouds. But yeah, it made really clear how bad he has his life is. We also got to see another pathway fight, the shepherd. Or the sequence of the shepherd. I don't know which pathway. And she was able to summon a giant knight who uses a giant sword to decimate enemies without injuring people. Supposedly, maybe that is where she poisons them. I don't know. She was also able to devour people. She also is very hot, but that is besides the point. And we saw that in this pathway, everyone turns into a witcher. I really hope they lean into this. I mean, the whole sequencing is about potions. Pathway and stuff. Pathways are about potions. So it would make sense that they also may become use potions and stuff. But yeah, it was definitely a very good special. I don't know what the other specials are about, but I hope they're equally in quality.